Okay, boss. So when you say analyzer, it's like normal Excel with some add-on components into it. Let's say I'm trying to open some BEx query and I'm analyzer. Yeah. It has to open an Excel and then see add-ins. Now you can say get connected. So it will show you all the systems which are there in available, and you see that's been connected. It means now by using the add in Excel, we are connected to the backend BW system bus. Okay. Now I can say file and say new blank workbooks. I just take an Excel sheet like this and I can start designing it. First, let me do one thing. I don't know whether I have some query. I would see you. I would like which system did I connect this one, right? Because I would like to design some query, get the content of the query into analyzer, into the Excel, and format it as a workbook. That's what I wanted to do. Whether I don't know any, there's a cube with some data. Can I try to use this? Hoping that this will have data. Remember, this is my query, workbook 001. I want to test this out whether it's got data or not. Once I have the query, it should not take much time. అందరికీ సేల్స్ This fellow. It is showing data. I think he did some selective deletion or something. No data. Okay, there is some data now. So I've got a BEx query ready. Now I would like to present this BEx query as a workbook to my user by using BEx Analyzer. Okay. So to design your workbook, what they've done is SAP has given different components. Like say we have something like analysis grid. We use this analysis grid when you want to display it in form of row column wise, like table content. Yeah. Now when you want to provide some filtering, we use this navigation block. You know what is navigation block? Filtering, drill down, remove, drill down. This is only for filtering. Then if you want, you can place your command buttons or drop down box, check box, radio button, conditions where you can deactivate or activate conditions, exceptions, deactivate or activate exceptions. Now dynamic text elements, like when I say text element, let's say dynamically you want to bring query description or you want to bring author name, all those you can use text. And you want to show any messages of the query, let's say you want to show some warnings or errors, then we can control the workbook settings here. You can control most of the workbook settings of this property in this tab. Okay, like this is given this. Now let me do this. So view, I'm removing the grid. Let's say here I would like to bring in a logo. Yadundappa? I can say insert picture desktop they try to fill some line like margin like that. Okay, and let's have a logo, then this company name, say PAG Germany bus, and then I want this to be scrolled fixed up. Okay, so I'll say view, it's a freeze panes, so now that is fixed. Okay, now I will do is, now from this part I want the query output to start. What is that you want is, first I would like to get the description of my query. Okay, so to bring in description, I'll click on this. Now first click this to get into design mode. You're in the design mode now. Okay, now click on this insert text, it will put this. Now control the properties of this object. Now right click on this. What I should control, I should say date. Now here BEx query will be data provider, means BEx query will provide data to this. So data provider, create data provider. Now what is my query? Workbooks, which was the one which is giving me data. So 6. Okay, that's my provider. I'll say auto fit, adjust this value as per the cell, and I don't want any caption, I want formats. Okay, now go to the runtime mode now. See, that will start getting replaced. Yeah. Here I should say, sorry. Yes, associated with the provider, I should say what do you want? You actually wanted a text like query description, right? See, there's something query description and display query description. Say okay. Now let's get into design mode. Now I'll start. What is the description of this? Workbook 006. In the next line, I want to show who is the current user. Okay. Again, I'll say what text elements. Go to property, same data provider, auto fit. I want with caption saying current user and formats. What constant you want? I want to say display current user. Means who are logging in and running the report, it should show that username. Yeah. Set design time. So current user equal to HANA. Next, I want one more dynamic text. Again, I'll say insert text. Now this will start showing me the time and date when the query has been refreshed. Last refreshed it. Yeah, same provider again. Out of it, I want caption display formats. Okay. Then to the right, I want to see the author name who created this query. Yeah. Again, I'll see what insert text. Control this prop db1 out of it caption formatting. There should be something like author for you. Display what? Like this, you can bring in any text element. Information about your like you can, if you can bring any text elements you want like this. Okay, boss. Then once I do this, here I want to have the navigation block, boss. Okay, so how do I do this? What is the icon for navigation block? This one. Just bring this navigation block. Now control the properties of it. Day P1 data provider, same provider, auto fit. Use different style for highlighting for drill down. What are dimensions? Available dimensions, or do you want for everything or only for certain things? I want only for metal, sales date. Let's move them. Sale date. You can just select only what you want this to be shown. Full size. See, clipping means as per the size of your item, the content is truncated. But if it's full size, as per the content, the item is expanded. Yeah. And display settings. Now you can say yes, filters. Do you want to see icons? Yes. And do you want to see the navigation block horizontally? You can say display horizontally also. I don't want. It's all about controlling its properties. Now you get to see the navigation block. So remove drill down, you get to see icons also, because I enable checkbox display icons also. And from here I would like to see the data in as part of table. Then let's again for showing in table we use what? Analysis grid. Click on this analysis grid and control the properties of data provider. I'll say auto fit I want, allow navigation, that's fine. Okay, and then clipping I want full size, vertically or horizontally. Then, but see, there's no formatting, right? General, I'll say apply. What is it? Apply formatting, so that you start getting the colors. Now, like this, you can get the data in form of table. It's all about organizing your free Excel sheet like that. Let's say if I do remove drill down, metal is gone. If I drill down a sales rep is there. Again, I want drill down a metal rep. Same thing, but you're just formatting the workbook and presenting it to the user. That's the point. By using the design items here. Okay. Let's say I also wanted to provide a drop down box here where it can show him the say certain I want to go with sales date in the drop down box. I'll say what insert what, again I'll go to design mode. I'll insert what, drop down box. Go to properties of go to properties of drop down box, set DP. See, again set the provider, the selection. Now this drop down box has to show which dimension was for me. Sales date. Read mode is only the posted values from the queue, and it has show me the default text. Okay. Display label saying it is sales date, and then drop down box display all entry also. Okay, affected data provider. Affected means what? When I select a value, it has to affect which data provider? DP1. So the content of DP1 is from the table, so the table gets affected. I have analysis grid which is showing from DP1. When I do a select in the drop down box, it affects DP1 content. DP1 is, it will affect the data what is shown in my table automatically. It's so simple. Yeah. Like a drop down box, now select any date, you see this. Select any other date, it see this. Any other date, see this. I can remove the filter from the navigation box. Like this, you can place radio buttons, anything you want. Okay, and we use this icon when you want to provide him to switch off, switch on the condition. Remember, you know how to switch off, switch on. Same way, switch on, switch off the exception. You can use this. Then something I wanted to show. Let's say I want to bring in the chart for this. I'll say normal Excel insert. I'll say what? So you want to have column chart, column chart. I'll say insert some column chart is okay, or multiple. So I'll say go line chart. Okay. So I got line chart, but there's no content, right? Now once you bring in the chart, what I should do? I should associate this chart to my grid here. So I'll go to add-ins, go to design mode again, go to this table. So what is this tab here? Associate chart. The chart what you brought is select this now. So I am saying this chart is associated to this grid. Now you start seeing the content in the charts. At a meaning level, but chart data chart point and yeah, don't worry. Like this, you can place your charts into the. ఇంకా వాళ్ళకి యూజర్స్కి స్క్రీన్ చాలా పెద్ద స్క్రీన్ ఉంటుంది అన్నట్టు యాక్చువల్లీ. So this is how it will look for them. Okay. And then you can still organize it. I can still take it. See, there's nothing like you should have it only in one page bus. What I can do, I can take this chart to next sheet also. I can place a sheet in chart in the next sheet. So whatever it is you want, you can do. I think, yeah. For example, now what I'll do, I'll save my workbook. Say save, save workbook. Something like say sales workbook or something. So then what does end user do is end user will not run the query now. End user will not run the query bus. End user will just log into analyzer like this. End user would log into analyzer like this. Okay. And he'll get connected. Connect. Now you will come and say what? Open workbook. I don't know, I'm opening workbook from my favorites because I just saved it to my favorites, but generally in the real time they'll go to what? What are the workbook you create? You save it into some roles, okay? So they'll just get it roles, and then for me it is on favorites is fine. But see, when I opened it, was it refreshing or is it just showing static data like that? So if I want it to refresh, I'll say workbook properties. I'll say refresh workbook on open. Whenever I open it, has to refresh. Okay, say okay. I'll say again save workbook. Now if I close now, if I open workbook again, it was refreshing it. Yeah. Then I guess the individual will start using this workbook like this. You can place in button anything you want. Suppose if I go to design mode and let me place some button. What I want to do is I'll save this query as one more name with 7. Yeah, 7 query ki I'll just do slide change. I'll just remove this field number of records. Workbook, the another query workbook 7 which doesn't have the number of records. Okay. Now what is your query showing? Your data provider is 1. It's showing workbook 6 or 7. 6, right? Now what I'll do, I want to do like this. I want to give a button to the user. So whenever you have to use button, you should enable this property. Options, add in this trust center settings. So macros, trust access to VBA project first. Then now you can start using the button. Okay, now button comes in. Now what I want is when user clicks this button, the content of this the workbook should change to a different query. Okay. I'll say double click on the button. So you want to perform some workbook specific command or data provider specific command or planning command. I'll say what? Data provider specific command DP1. For DP1, assign query should change. Provider is DP1 only. I'll change the query being assigned to it. I'll say when I click this button, test assigned to which query was 7. That's my event. Now you can give the button text WB007 on this service. Okay. Now let's go to design mode. Now do you see button as WB007? When I click this, see, look at this, number of records should go. Is my number of records gone? Means it is showing data from which query? 00. See, this provider name has changed, description has changed. Yeah. Clear this? Now again I want to give one more button. I'll place one more button here. Again data provider specific command. When I click this, again it has to get back to what? 6 query assignment. WB006. Again I'll go back. So now if I click this 006, it takes me to the other query. If I click this, it takes me to the other query. You can play around with buttons also. It's all about designing. Is it like Excel dashboards? You're just trying to design an Excel based dashboards with the help of workbooks. Clear boss? చిన్న ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సే let's say I have some variables. Some variables, okay. Sir, look, variable. What is? I've got variable customer, yeah. For which query 007. Now what I want is every time you open it, this will get refreshed, right? Save workbook now. So let me open workbook again. So whenever I open workbook, will it refresh? Yes sir. Now it's 007. Okay. Now I want variable screen to be forced down. What is button? Variables. Process variables on refresh center. Okay. Now say what I'll do. If I say refresh my query, sorry. If I say refresh, actually now it is taking. It's not considering the provider. If you click these variables, you get the variable screen. Okay, boss. Actually, we refresh to Raval variable screen Raval. Now you can get variable screen. You can populate the values to variable normally, like normal BEx variables here. Now there's one more option here. Like say, for example, if I'm using can I use multiple queries into one workbook? Yes. If I'm using then if both the queries have the same variable, then I'll say display duplicate variables only once. Query 1 lo customer variable. The same variable I'm using in another query, and both queries are used in the same workbook, so it doesn't make sense to ask twice. So it will show only once. And then there's an option called themes where you can basically do formatting changes. Theme and styling. You want to change colors, all those stuff can be done with themings. And design item shows me all components what we have used. If you want something, you can also run your macros. If the functionality is not satisfied, you would like to write your own custom code, you can write your own macros also. Like You can go to Alt F11 and go to VB code in the backend, write your macros and call the macros also. Don't get to that extent. Don't want. That's okay. You can also do this way. This is all open. Save workbooks, refresh workbooks, show me variables and tools. For example, I want to edit some query. I can go from here. Yeah. If I want to create a new query, it will open up a query designer from here also. That's normal. And connecting, disconnecting, and some properties. For example, you'll have some properties. Just go through all this. Yeah. Fine. This is analyzer. It's all. I think it should be self-explanatory from now. Just start using those components, start playing around, and then you should get this one. Don't spend too much time. In interview, you get only one question. Did you work with BEx Analyzer? What do you say? Yes, ante. No other question. Because there's nothing much. It's all about playing around. Inka emayadante, I've not seen people using 7 Analyzer. Still, most of the people are still comfortable with, users are more comfortable with 3.x Analyzer. See, if it is 3.x Analyzer, they just create one workbook and they copy the same workbook and they just do some changes always. Okay. I can show you 3.x workbook. 1 second. If I say I launch this, let me close this. When I use RRMX, hello, it's not there, but there's some 3.x Analyzer also available which you can use it. That's more user friendly. It's like we don't have any design components like button all this. Straight away Excel, you embed query into it and then start drag and drop those objects and format it. More formatting. Okay, it's all about designing Excel workbooks. Okay.